They say generosity reveals true friendship. But sometimes, it just exposes who's been using you. I used to believe helping people made me a good friend. Until one day I realized I'd become someone's personal wallet. And when I finally stood up for myself, her reaction showed me exactly why I should have done it sooner. If you've ever been taken advantage of by someone who called themselves a friend, hit that subscribe button and like this video. Because today's story is about learning that kindness without boundaries isn't friendship. It's a free ride for the wrong person. It started out innocent enough. She was an old friend, someone I hadn't seen in years. We'd reconnected after I had my son, and I thought maybe it was fate giving me a second chance at an old bond. She had 2 boys about the same age as mine, and I figured we could make great playdates out of it. The kind where moms talk, kids laugh, and everyone goes home happy and tired. She was separated from her husband but still living with him. For the kids, she said. I sympathized. Life isn't always easy, especially for a stay-at-home mom. So I tried to be understanding, patient, supportive. The first few times we hung out, I didn't think much about pain. I had a decent job and honestly it just felt easier. I'd grab the bill, she'd thank me and we'd move on. But as time went on, the thank yous turned into expectations. It was subtle. The way her eyes would glance at the waiter when the check came, or how she'd never even pretend to reach for her purse. And I'd tell myself, it's fine. He's struggling. Be kind. But kindness without awareness. That's how you get played. One day I suggested we go to Applebee's. Nothing fancy, just a casual spot where we could relax and the kids could get chicken tenders and fries. She laughed and said, Applebee's? I was thinking something fancier. Her tone was playful, but the way she said it, it was as if we were on a date. I laughed it off, but something about it didn't sit right. Fancy? I asked. It's just lunch. He shrugged. You always pay anyway. Might as well enjoy something nice. That should have been my cue. That was the moment I should have drawn a line. But I didn't. I told myself she was joking. I wanted to believe she wasn't the kind of person who saw me as a meal ticket. We went to Applebee's anyway. I paid again. And she didn't offer to cover even a drink. I remember driving home that day, my son asleep in his car seat, and I just felt off, like something invisible had shifted. A few weeks later, she suggested we take the kids to the fair. Now, I love fairs. The laughter, the music, the cotton candy in the air. But I also knew how expensive they could get. So I made it clear this time, I'll pay for me and my son and you can cover yourself and your boys. He agreed, cheerful as ever. Of course, she said. I'll just Venmo you when we get there. I might leave my purse in the car. That should have been red flag number 2. When we got to the ticket booth, she patted her pockets and sighed. Oh shoot, my wallet's in the car. Can you just grab our passes? I'll Venmo you right after. I hesitated, for just a second, but with kids tugging at our hands and excitement in the air, I gave in. Fine, I thought. She's a friend. She'll pay me back. I paid for all the passes. The fair was crowded and noisy, filled with spinning rides and the smell of funnel cake. The kids were laughing, running from one thing to another, and for a moment it felt worth it. Until lunchtime. We stopped by a food stand and her kids started yelling out what they wanted. Hot dogs, lemonade, fries, candy apples. She didn't tell them to slow down or wait their turn. He just stood there, watching. I ended up placing the order myself, thinking maybe she'd step in at the end. He didn't. In fact, when the cashier read the total, $110, she added, "Oh, and can we get a couple of those churros too?" My stomach sank. But I smiled tightly, handed over my card, and told myself I'd deal with it later. When the food was gone and the kids were cranky, I finally asked, quietly trying not to make a scene, "Hey, could you Venmo me now before we head out?" She looked me dead in the eye and said, "I can't. I don't have any money. My husband cut me off." My heart stopped for a second. Then came the anger. I stared at her, holding my son's hand, and asked, "Then why did you even suggest the fair? Why say you'd pay me back?" She rolled her eyes. "You just don't get it. You and your husband both have good jobs. It's different for me." That's when it clicked. This wasn't about money. It was about entitlement. She didn't feel guilty, she felt justified. I didn't yell. I didn't argue. I just said, okay, picked up my son and started walking toward the exit. But she wasn't done. As we passed a small escape room attraction near the gates, she stopped and said, "The kids would love that. I wish we could go in." Then she looked at me waiting, like she expected me to pull out my card again. That was it. The last straw. I turned to her and said, "No. We're done. My kid needs to nap." And I walked away. That night my phone buzzed. Then again. And again. She texted, called, left voicemails. Cheerful as if nothing had happened. She wanted to hang out again. She said she could come over with the boys right now. I ignored her. 4 days later my husband asked, "What's wrong?" And I told him everything. He didn't even hesitate. "Cut her off," he said. "That's trifling. She's using you." He was right. So I finally texted her back. "Hey, I know you've been texting and calling to hang out, but I'm not really interested unless you can pay me back for the fare. You lied to me about Venmo and I feel like you took advantage of me." I even explained that if she had just been honest about not having money, I would have chosen something free, like the park or the splash pad. I would have helped her if she hadn't lied. Her reply came fast. "What do you expect from me? I'm depressed, I'm going through a divorce and I have no money. You're just holding what you paid for over my head when I never asked you to do that." I stared at the screen, dumbfounded. She did ask me to do that. She said she'd Venmo me. She let me pay knowing full well she couldn't. I replied, "You literally lied. That's not the same as being broke. That's being dishonest." She wrote back, "I have enough going on right now. I don't need this." So I asked one last time, "Are you going to pay me back or not?" Her answer, "No. You're doing just fine. You're just greedy. You have your husband paying for everything. You don't know what it's like to struggle." I couldn't believe what I was reading. And then, cherry on top, she wrote, "You're really going to watch all my expenses? You sound jealous. You think you're better than me." That was it. I blocked her. Now, some people might say blocking her wasn't revenge. But here's the thing. Sometimes the best revenge isn't loud or dramatic. It's quiet. It's walking away without giving the other person a single drop of your energy again. He kept trying to contact me through mutual friends. She even told one that I was greedy and fake. But word got around. When people heard her side, then mine, the truth spread faster than she could spin it. People stopped inviting her places. Other moms realized she'd been doing the same thing to them. Borrowing money, forgetting her wallet, promising to Venmo later. And just like that, her little pattern of manipulation collapsed. As for me, I learned something powerful. It's not wrong to be generous, but it's dangerous to be generous with people who think your kindness is their entitlement. Sometimes revenge doesn't look like payback. It looks like peace. It looks like reclaiming your boundaries, your dignity, and your sanity. I don't regret being kind, but I regret confusing kindness with obligation. The truth is, people like her never change until they lose access to what they were using you for. And once you stop funding their comfort, they show you their real face. That's when you realize, walking away isn't weakness. It's wisdom. If you've ever had someone use your kindness against you, tell me in the comments. What was your breaking point? Don't forget to subscribe for more stories where justice finds its way, even in the quietest of endings. Because sometimes, the sweetest revenge is peace.